Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Awesome. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for being here. So as Leonard mentioned, my name is Jesus Perales. I'm the Immigration Policy and Programs Coordinator here at the Texas AFL-CIO. And so what we want to do today is just kind of talk about our immigration program, what we've done so far and where we want to go, and also what some of the work that our affiliates have been doing. So far, this year is actually our 5th year of the immigration program. And we've been able to help close to 2,000 folks across the state. This is in 10 different cities here in Texas, and we've been able to process close to 800 naturalization applications alone. But this work really wouldn't be possible without you all. And I know I've seen a lot of folks who have volunteered at our clinics throughout the year, so just wanted to say thank you for all that work that you all have done as well. All the clinics that you have hosted in your local union halls as well, which, you know, like I said, this would not be possible without you all. We've trained close to about 1,000 volunteers in these last 5 years. And a lot of these folks are folks that come back every year who are pretty much experts in naturalization clinics, who know the application front and back now. And again, none of this would happen without you all. So another great thing that we did this year is we have trained some of our brothers and sisters from all over the country. So we hosted a training session where folks from Georgia, Connecticut, California, Oregon, Minnesota, Illinois came to Texas to really learn about the program, how to do a clinic, and now they're doing those clinics in their home state as well. So it's expanding, y'all. It's getting there. But in addition to all the immigration benefits that we're doing, all the clinics that we want to do, we're also playing a role in policy. This particular session, we worked very closely with our allies to push back against anti-immigrant legislation. I know this particular session was a really hard one, but I was really proud to stand there with a lot of our allied organizations to make sure we stopped some of those bills. And it's something that we're going to continue to do. So that's just a brief overview of what we've done so far, but I wanted to also, introduce our panelists who have helped us a lot with this work and are also doing great work individually in their locals as well. So I want to introduce, first and foremost, Wanda Longoria, president of Northside AFT.
Good morning, thank you.
We have Nancy Hernandez, political organizer with SEIU Texas.
Good morning.
And Manuel Muniz, district council organizer with the Ironworkers. So Wanda, we'll start with you, because you've done a lot of our campaign work with the citizenship campaign, and you've been an amazing ally on this. So as I mentioned, we've been going on 5 years now with the Citizenship Clinic. Can you give us an overview of what the program entails? How does it work and who qualifies?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a grand privilege. I am the president of Northside American Federation of Teachers in San Antonio, and we work very closely with our sister unions whenever we do these. But basically, the local decides, they make the plan, and they send out information about the upcoming citizenship clinic. And we do that through pre-clinic citizenship information sessions, or what we call forums. At those forums, our participants can come in and register for the clinic. They are presented with an informative presentation, alerting them as to what documents they need to bring, what kind of information would be necessary for them to fill out their application on the day of the citizenship clinic. And AFL-CIO trained us to try to do at least 2 to 3 of these so that we get enough participants so that on the day of the clinic, they head to the front of the line. And by that I mean there's going to be other people that show up, but we take those folks who have attended those sessions first, because they took the time to come out, get educated, bring their documents, and we want to facilitate that for them as simply as possible. Then they're invited back to come to the actual citizenship clinic, to get assistance with their application. And when they come through there, we have attorneys, we have a network of attorneys that work with them, as well as volunteers to fill out the applications. Those green card holders with no major criminal legal actions against them will qualify for this program. And also, if they've been legal residents of the U.S. for 5 years or are married to a U.S. citizen for 3.
Awesome, thank you. So AFT has been a leading partner with us for our clinics. We've hosted clinics in the RGV. I know Silvia Tanguma is here. Thank you for all your work on that, Silvia. In Dallas, in Houston, and of course with your local in San Antonio. Can you tell us why this work is so important to AFT?
Wow. Well, there's just no simple way to say it, but I'll try to put it in a nutshell. It's important because it helps our union connect with the parents, with our students, with our community, and we're able to forge those valuable relationships with them. We share our parent and student resources at that time. I know that in the Valley they gave away backpacks, and we share immigration rights for our community. And they know then what rights they have under the law, and they're better equipped to protect themselves. But beyond all that, the biggest portion of our work is that the community builds trust with us, and they have faith in the labor community. And at the end of the day, they view us as their advocates, and they come to us for assistance and for answers to their questions. And then when they become citizens, we are assured that they remember who helped them through this process, and they will be back to support not only labor, but those legislators that we endorse for future decisions that affect all of us as a community.
That's great. So I know you touched a bit on it on your last answer, but can you give us an example on how becoming a citizen can be transformative for applicants, especially for our members?
We had an applicant who came through, and she worked for a different district, and we did this at South San ISD when we did our citizenship clinic. And she was later hired by our district to come in as a teacher. Now, when she went through the process, she was a support classified personnel person, and then she went on to get her degree and became a teacher. She immediately joined our union. She reached out to us, and she's been an active advocate for support personnel as well as for teachers. And during our last school board election, we had 3 of our 4 candidates get elected, and she was out there educating the employees of Northside and her community about the importance and value of going out to vote for a school board member. And she has continued to do that work and continues to speak highly of labor and continues to give us credit for her being an American citizen. So those are the kinds of stories, and that's the impact that we have in the work that we do.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. So I know when you first talk about doing citizenship clinics, it seems like a monumentous task, right? What would you say to those folks who are in this room who are interested in this work but may think, oh, it's a lot of work? How did you get started?
Well, that's funny because the way I got started was quite by accident. You know how that's usually how it happens. But I attended something where I heard about citizenship clinics, and I know that I connected immediately because my father had done that work in the 80s through the SEIU program. And so I thought, I want to do that. So I started looking into it. But I would say AFL-CIO is here to be your support. Reach out to them for guidance. Also know that if you're a Texas AFT local affiliate, you can reach out to Texas AFT. A few years ago, we brought a resolution to our convention that we would be doing citizenship clinics, and it passed. And so our sister locals, especially in the Valley, Silvia Tanguma and her crew, they have done fantastic work down there, as well as we have done work in the San Antonio area. Reach out to us as well. I would tell you that it's really not that hard. In San Antonio, I reached out to the city immigration liaison at the time. And he and I met over coffee at Starbucks, and we began working together. He gave me a list of attorneys that I could look into calling, and we began to look for immigration attorneys who would be willing to come work pro bono, knowing the work that we were doing. And we set together an Excel spreadsheet with all of those attorneys every time we had a citizenship clinic. And every time we had one, we would also include our volunteers. So we now have a good set of volunteers and attorneys who come help us. But at the end of the day, I would advise you to attend an actual citizenship clinic, because at the end of the day, that's how I learned. I went to one held in Austin at one of the local union halls. I saw how it was set up. I took notes, I went back, I drew little schematics of how it would be done. We set it up, and then Jesus and his crew came in, and they tweaked it a little bit more, and they were there every step of the way, and it was very successful, and they've been successful ever since. So absolutely, you can count on your brothers and sisters and other locals who have done this, but absolutely you can count on AFL-CIO and Texas AFT. And reach out to them for help, and at the end of the day, just call Jesus. He'll take care of it.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Wanda. Again, thank you for
Absolutely.
all your work. It's been great working with you. So now we're going to switch over to a fairly new program that the Ironworkers and other unions have been really engaged in. So Manuel, the Deferred Action Program is, like I said, relatively new. It's specifically meant to protect workers in labor disputes who may face retaliation in the workplace around their immigration issues. Can you tell us a bit more about how the program works?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I want to say thank you for the invitation over here, and thanks for everybody here. I know everybody, we all do great work, so I want to thank everybody. The deferred action is really a commitment from the DHS saying that they're not going to pursue any legal action or deportation to any individual that is involved in a labor dispute with their employer. So in order to get that, or for an individual to really qualify or be considered for deferred action, they need to be involved in some type of labor dispute with their employer in an investigation, and therefore a few entities, government entities, need to be involved, which is either the NLRB, the DOL, or some state entity, and they submit a letter or what's called a statement of interest to the DHS saying, hey, we have an investigation going on with this employer, we need these workers, you know, whatever names they are, they provide the names, and they say we need these workers involved in the investigation, and they give them a work permit. Yeah, it's a work permit or a visa for a certain period of time. And as long as that investigation takes, they can renew that visa. But it must be, you know, the investigation needs to be ongoing in order to renew that visa.
Awesome, thank you. So, I mean, historically, we haven't had these folks in our unions before. So this is a pretty great opportunity. Could help thousands of workers all over the state. Can you tell us a bit more about how your union is thinking about this program in terms of an organizing opportunity?
Yeah, we feel this is a very, I mean, it's, you know, I think everybody here can agree that there's no such thing as more information or just enough tools, you know. So this is just another tool that we can add to our toolbox that will help us, you know, with these workers. Some of these workers, because of their culture in different countries and wherever they come from, they're real scared, you know, to speak up because they feel, oh, you know, this employer's got me, you know, in the palm of their hand. They can do whatever they want with me, and I'm lucky to have a job, which is not the case. And therefore, they get exploited for that. But this program allows them and gives them some confidence to speak up and say, hey, you know what, you know, yeah, you can't be treating me like this anymore. So, you know, it pretty much just helps us give them the confidence that they need to speak up, like I said, and you know, go after what they really deserve. And you know, most of them are here for an opportunity, so this is an even bigger opportunity for what they came here for.
Awesome. So I know that can be a bit confusing for folks, right? Like how the process works. It's a lot of details, but can you give us an example of a current case or a current situation where you all are doing the deferred action program to organize folks?
Yeah, well, I'm involved in a organizing drive in Dallas right now. We're pretty much in the preliminary stages of the deferred action with a worker. I'm sorry, but in other states, our union has gotten pretty far along with that process, and because of the way we have it set up and how we strategize it, we don't get notified whether the employer or the worker gets, the deferred action, or if they were eligible for it or qualified for it. It's due to confidentiality and all that. But I'm more than certain that in that organizing drive that they did in another state, it really helped and gave the workers that boost of confidence to be able to take that drive across the finish line for the win. So, that's where it really helped. Not only us as a union, but themselves, really.
Awesome. So this is a fairly new program, so a lot of folks don't know a lot about it, but I do want to make a plug. There is a workshop happening later today, specifically around this program, and it goes into a little bit more detail on how it works, who qualifies, and we also have a handbook from the National AFL-CIO for those folks who are interested in kind of engaging and figuring out if this could be a good opportunity for you all to take advantage of. So thank you so much for being here, Manuel.
You're welcome.
So now we'll switch over to policy a bit. Nancy with SEIU. The TPS campaign has been something that your union has been very involved in. Can you tell us first what TPS is and who qualifies?
Yeah, so first off, thank you for inviting me and for making space for us to have these conversations. Temporary protection status, or TPS, allows individuals from designated countries to live in the United States when their home country is no longer safe to live. The program allows them to work and protects them from deportation. And to qualify, you must be a national from one of the designated countries, live continuously in the United States, meet the requirement timelines, and have no criminal offenses.
Awesome. So we know that there's a lot of changes happening around TPS, and we're trying to get some positive changes to occur. Can you tell us where the program is now, and what is the goal of your campaign around TPS?
So recently, in June of this year, the administration extended TPS for El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Nepal. And while this is good news, it left out millions of people. So just last week, we went to DC to urge the administration to extend TPS.
Why is SEIU invested in this? How would this help your membership?
Yeah, so SEIU is invested because we would like to see a redesignation for El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Nepal, and a new designation for Guatemala. This would transform the lives of over 1.5 million people. And a lot of these folks are essential workers that are in janitorial, healthcare, airports, restaurants, and constructions, and we believe that this will transform their lives.
For sure. So what can folks in this room do to help with this campaign to really push for the expansion of TPS? You said 1.5 million people can gain immigration benefits, so what can we do to help?
Yeah, so right now we do have a sign-on letter that I know that you guys signed on to, so thank you so much. But just join the conversation. Please feel free to reach out to see how we can connect. We are taking several trips to DC, so if you have any members that may qualify or benefit from TPS, please join us in DC to continue these conversations.
Okay. Thanks, folks. So, as we have seen, thank you, Nancy, for that update on TPS. I know, we've talked about different types of immigration benefits, and a lot of it can get confusing about who qualifies for what, who can apply for what, but that's what we're here for. We're here to really help you all navigate that process as well. And then now that we have an immigration attorney on staff, we're also happy to help you all with individual cases. But what we really wanted to give you all is a summary of the work that everyone's been doing, but also to make that connection and understanding that immigration work is union work, right? Especially here in Texas, where we have so many immigrant brothers and sisters that are part of the workforce. And so we're doing these programs because we know that that's a need out there for our affiliates, for our members, but also an organized opportunity for all of us to really include those folks that we haven't reached out to yet. So as we continue to grow this program, one thing that we are doing as well is taking the page from the Climate Jobs Project and starting an advisory board where we have affiliated unions telling us what our direction should be when it comes to immigration. And so I invite any of you all who are here interested in this work to reach out to us, to have those conversations, to have you all join our advisory board as well. But also, as Wanda mentioned, the individual members who are here who want to volunteer at our clinics, again, this work would not be possible without you all. So we thank each and every one of you who have volunteered, but also encourage you all to, if you want to take a look at the clinic, how it works, how it functions, and then maybe possibly even do one in your city, please let us know. And again, thank you to all the panelists for being here, for explaining this to us. And thank you to all of you all for all your help. Thanks so much.